it felt like it was one of the worst kept secrets in Bundesliga history, and that was around a certain Spanish man, Xabi Alonso. So this news finally broke. What was it, last Friday? Anyway, so this is the AP, big global news outlet. Xabi Alonso confirms he's leaving Bayer Leverkusen ahead of expected move to Real Madrid. Again, it was rumoured. Lots of sources like Bild, Fabrizio Romano, lots of Sky Sports, lots of sites covering this. Again, this news broke on the 9th of May, which was last Friday, or Freitag. Bayer Leverkusen leaving the German club ahead of an expected move to Real Madrid. This is a comment himself, this is from Xabi Alonso. I won't do the voice. This is the right moment to announce it, the Spanish coach said. Clarity is good for everyone. The 43-year-old Alonso ended weeks of speculation by informing his players before Friday's training session that he was leaving. That's 1 year before his contract with the club was due to expire in 2026. Alonso, a former Madrid player, which again is a key point to keep in mind actually, that Florentino Perez has known about him for a while. He admired his leadership, his tenacity, his vision as a player, because he was signed from Liverpool for €34 million. In 2009? Feel free to correct me. The drill by now. Let me know in the comment section down below. Anyway, so Perez brought him in as a player in 2009. He's been tracking him. Apparently he does this with everybody. Perez has got this dossier where he's keeping tabs on every player, manager. He must go through a lot of paper. Maybe he's got on those... begins with an R, doesn't it? Those pads. Those remarkable pads. Anyway, back to Xabi Alonso. A former Real Madrid player, he led Leverkusen to an unprecedented league and cup double last season after taking over the team when it was in Bundesliga relegation zone, and that was in October 22. I think that we can be happy, we can be proud of what we've achieved during this time, Alonso said. His Leverkusen team remains the only one to complete a Bundesliga season unbeaten. And just to put all that in perspective, Noodle Vinny's done this on our behalf on Twitter. Look, so this was October of 22. So when he took over, 8 games into that season, Leverkusen, as you can see, were in 17th place, having only won 1 game and lost 5. That season, by the way, finished with Leverkusen in 6th, which was pretty impressive. That put them in the Europa Cup, or Europa League, the following season. This, by the way, as you probably know from your Bundesliga history, and look for the almanac, this was the bottle job, wasn't it? This was the Dortmund bottle job, when on the last day of the season, they ended up drawing 2-2 with Mainz. Mainz scored in the last minute, I recall, and Bayern Munich went on to win the league on goal difference in what turned out to be Jude Bellingham's last ever game with the Yellow and Blacks at the Westfalenstadion. But then, of course, as we know, Xabi Alonso was just 1 game away that following season from an unbeaten, remarkable treble at Leverkusen. Just the 1-L, and that was in that Europa League final against Atlanta. We come back to this story then. So, news broke that Alonso was leaving. Is he going to go to Real Madrid? Ooh, of course he was, right? We all knew that one. And then Fabrizio Romano, he breaks the news. This was on the 12th of May. Here we go. Xabi Alonso to Real Madrid. Here we go. Story confirmed. Deal sealed. He's going to be the new manager of Real Madrid, Los Blancos, or the Galacticos, until 2028. Staff sorted, contract in place, 3-year deal. Alonso, he's planning to start before the FIFA Club World Cup. Farewell to the Don Ancelotti. He's gone over to take charge of the Brazilian national team. We pick up here then from the Madrid zone that Xabi is bringing in his entire Leverkusen coaching staff, which is great because that gives continuity to him and to his backroom team. This confirmed as well, according to Marca. I don't read that too well because my Spanish is pretty poor, but as you can see, they're rushing through. Real Madrid are rushing through the contract so that Xabi can start before the FIFA Club World Cup. That starts on the 15th of June. Here we are, look. It's a homecoming for Alonso, who has become a very promising coach after his success coaching Leverkusen. Alonso will bring trusted assistant Sebas Parilla, a colleague from his days coaching Real Madrid's youth academy. The two of them worked together since him and Alonso considers him as a key member of his coaching philosophy. It's Jungle Book, isn't it? And we'll get told off. What we've gone so. We'll get demonetised. Physical trainer Alberto Encinas. Again, I'm butchering his pronunciations. I apologise. Let me know what the pronunciation should be. Although that'll be a struggle, won't it? You could write it phonetically and stick it in the comments below. Anyway, physical trainer Alberto Encinas will oversee player conditioning, casting doubt on the future of current trainer Antonio Pintos. Goalkeeper coach Luis Lopez will stay with the club. The club has made it clear that while Alonso's input on transfers is welcome, final decisions will rest with Perez and co. Real Madrid, though, are actively seeking a left-back, a centre-back and a midfielder. Positions that Alonso reportedly agrees need strengthening. And again, this is just confirmation that Real Madrid are rushing through Alonso's start date. Because again, Ancelotti's taken over the Brazilian national team as from May 26th. Leverkusen announced that news last Friday. Yeah, we know that one. Anyway, yeah, that's just confirmation that he's rushing through the start date. And here you go. Look, this is the Madrid zone again. Xabi Alonso has decided to skip his vacation to start work at Real Madrid ASAP. He plans to immediately join after leaving Bayer Leverkusen to help prepare them for the FIFA Club World Cup. I'm not sure what Mrs. Alonso and the little people in the family will have got to say about that. Mrs. Alonso is probably an understanding lady because she's going to get to spend time in the sun. That was not meant to come across as feminist and as wokist as what it was. What I'm trying to say is, through Xabi's decision, that whole family are going to increase their quality of life. Don't clip that. And again, this is confirmation that Real Madrid will be playing Al Hilal in the FIFA Club World Cup. Their campaign starts on June the 18th, as you can see there. And their group, by the way, for Real Madrid, is Al Hilal of Saudi Arabia, CF Pachuca, they're Mexican, and then FC Salzburg, because of course, despite all the money in the world, and the fact that their multi-club ownership is a slightly grey area, is it not, for old Giovanni Infantino and co at FIFA, we can't allow Red Bull, we can't allow corporate sponsorship of clubs to come between them and beauty of the beautiful game. So what should be Red Bull Salzburg is now FC Salzburg. Of course. Let's just have a look at his record then, right? So this is Xabi Alonso. Of course, he's only 43, so quite a tender age to be a manager. Again, he took over Bayer Leverkusen in October of 22. He's got a contract until June next year, but that's been ripped up because, of course, he's off to join Los Blancos. So as we can see here, this is the key data on the right-hand side. I'll do a poor job of highlighting it, but he's been in charge for 139 games. In that period of time, he's won 89, drawn 31, and only lost 19. Now, you might think, well, actually, last year was an unbeaten year. They've lost a few games this year. Well, they've lost 3 now. It was 2 going into match day 33 when they were beaten, sort of a little bit troubled, a little bit embarrassed, 4-2 at home in the last game, which did spoil. I don't think it spoilt the mood. I mean, the mood was probably already a little bit sober as it was, because not only is Xabi Alonso going, but Jonathan Tah's contract expires in June, and there's rumours that he's going. Well, he's going everywhere, isn't he, at this minute in time? He was going to Barcelona, but I don't think they can register him in time, because Barcelona, don't forget, they've got some money issues, some peseta issues of their own. He was then going to go to Real Madrid to obviously join with Xabi Alonso, but of course that was all TBD at that minute in time. And then of course he's going to go to Bayern Munich. But again, money, right? You need, in order to get somebody in, you need to offload people. So was that going to be Min Jae Kim going to Chelsea or going to Newcastle? You know, Eric Dyer's obviously already going to AS Monaco, so that would free up a spot at centre-back. And don't forget, the big brain one at Munich has got a lot of injury issues, especially in defence. And we did an entire video, in fact, we've done 2 videos linking centre-backs to Bayern Munich, because we follow our noses and we follow the news threads, all for you. I do all this for you. So if you could find it in your heart to like and subscribe, I know I'm getting in there early with that, but I do this full time. I am committed to you to bring you the most latest up-to-date news and following everything in the Bundesliga. So if you could like and subscribe, that'd be fantastic. Anyway, link in the description for those 2 videos about Jonathan Tah, where's he going, and Ko Itakura, the Japanese centre-back currently playing for Borussia Mönchengladbach. He's got a contract with Gladbach until 26, but rumours are linking him with 4 domestic clubs in the Bundesliga, including Bayern Munich and some clubs elsewhere like Arsenal, Tottenham and Newcastle. Back to Xabi Alonso then. So those 19 games, a lot of that will have been in that first season. In fact, in his first season, where's it gone? You can't tell from that screen. But anyway, in his first season, he did lose his last game. Actually, no, it would be there, wouldn't it? Let's come back to that screen. Yeah, you can see here the end of that first season. Where do we need to be? May of 23. They lost to Bochum 3-0, and I believe that was a result that actually kept Bochum in the Bundesliga. Not to be repeated this time because I've already gone down. Anyway, so don't be shocked by those 19 losses, because again, a lot of that came in that transitional first season for Xabi Alonso at Bayer Leverkusen. So 89 wins, 31 draws, 19 losses, lots of goals, look, 313 goals going into other people's nets. Only 153 conceded, 298 points racked up in those 139 games, which is a points per match ratio of 2.14. Keep that in your head, right? Points per match ratio of 2.14. Now, if we look, and this was a feature on Hansi Flick, but this is the Bundesliga coaches with the best points per average. This article came out a couple of years ago, like 3 or 4 years ago. So just look at where that would rank him, look. That would put Xabi Alonso with his 2.14 points per game. That would put him squarely into 4th on this list. So obviously Pep Guardiola, 2.52 points per game. Hansi Flick only managed 58 games, and we'll come on to that in a second. 2.45 points per game. Carlo Ancelotti, he only lasted a year and it didn't go that well, actually. Yes, he did win the championship and it was wrapped up in April, so it was around about the time that they usually do it. But they did get knocked out in the quarterfinals of the Champions League by Real Madrid and lost out in the semi-final of the DFB Pokal to Dortmund. So not the best term, but then again, he's the Don, isn't he? And he'll turn it around. And he did turn it around. Where did he go next? Just as confirmation of that, he went on after that to manage Napoli. There you go. And then he got lost at Everton, which I think he thought was Liverpool. Anyway, so Carlo Ancelotti, only 40 games, 2.38 points per game. And then, Sasha Lewandowski will be moved down. Actually, Otto Hitzfeld will be taken off this shortlist completely. And then, so number 4 would be Xabi Alonso with his 2.14 or 2.14 points per game. Here's Hansi Flick then. This is his record at Bayern Munich. 86 games. Again, this was done 3 or 4 years ago. 86 matches in total. I suppose this isn't Bundesliga games, is it? We could break that down. Mind you, I don't need to because it's already been done. Anyway, this is probably irrelevant, but this is all together then. This is 86 matches. This is everything from Bundesliga, DFB Pokal and Champions League. 86 matches, 70 wins, only 8 losses. Truckloads of goals, 218 points, 2.53 points per match. But don't worry, because again, this was the interesting fact about the Bundesliga. Now, of course, Xabi Alonso is heading to Real Madrid. Now, they're in a bit of a mess, which is not a surprise then. It is no surprise that Perez has moved the Don out, because they're in danger this season of coming second in La Liga. Look, there's a 7-point gap to Barcelona. They've just been beaten again by Barcelona in El Clasico. So they were beaten in the Copa del Rey. They were beaten, is that twice now? That they've done them twice in La Liga. So there's a 7-point gap. There's only 9 points on the board because there's 3 games left. So there's a chance that Real Madrid and Ancelotti will end the season. Well, he'll get a fantastic payoff. And there'll be a complete overhaul when Xabi comes in. Now, on that note, if we look here, this article here, Xabi Alonso identified. So this is Xabi before he's even got in the job, right? He's already written down his shortlist of players. 2 most important Real Madrid transfer targets. This is according to 90 Minutes. Great website, by the way. Here we go. I'll just zoom that in. Now, before he's even got in the job, Alonso's drawn a wish list of players that he'd like to bring in. And this wish list is drawn from players he already knows well. And his 2 primary targets are Real Sociedad midfielder Martin Zubimendi. Oh, Gonzo's just prodding me in the back and he's letting me know, but Craig, Arsenal and Mikel Arteta have already put a bid. It's already been done. That's what we found out yesterday. That deal's already done. He's already coming in to join the Gooners from the start of next season. Well, apparently not. Oh, apparently Zubimendi and he's current, which will become his former centre-back, Jonathan Tah. He wants to bring Jonathan Tah with him to Real Madrid. It is hoped that the 2-pronged plan of attack will address the failure to replace Toni Kroos following his retirement last summer, and the fact that Los Blancos lost out to Manchester United in their pursuit of Lenny Yoro. So, he's already busy, right? He's already drawn up wish lists. And not only that, but if we take this article by One Football, which is a great service, by the way. Yeah, it's a great streaming service. You can get games for free. You can watch the Bundesliga in Austria for free and various other leagues, provincial leagues around Europe, actually around the world. You can also, there's a paid service to it. This isn't sponsored, but if you want to sponsor me, feel free. Anyway, yeah, so this is an article by onefootball.com that shopping list of Xabi Alonso heading into Real Madrid also includes defenders Dean Howson of Bournemouth. Now again, video link in the description below. We covered that one a few weeks back. We talk about this guy a lot. He's 20 years of age, Dean Howson, currently playing for Bournemouth, 30 appearances, 3 goals, one of which was against Arsenal, and 1 assist. His current market value is 42 million. He was bought from Juventus for the princely sum of 10 million. This is all in euro. So what a snip Dean Howson would be. He is rumoured to Real Madrid, and with Xabi Alonso going there, it'll probably confirm it. Who else is on this shopping list? Alvaro Carreras. There we go. There's the happy-looking... He's got some great teeth, hasn't he? Alvaro Carreras. He's a left-back. Spanish, which, again, good pedigree. He's currently playing for Benfica. 31 games this season in the Liga de Portugal. Betclic La Liga. Liga Portugal, 31 games he's played, 3 goals, 1 assist. So I'd imagine the assist would be a little bit higher. Anyway, as an under 21 for Espanyol, he's played 9 times. And then even for the under 19s, he's played 2 games. So he's got pedigree up. This is his history to date. So he starts out at Deportivo. They're a club that's dropped off a cliff, haven't they, recently? He's played at Real Madrid and the youth academy. He's worked his way through Manchester United. He was on loan at Preston. Granada back to Man United. Sold to Benfica. Was on loan again at Man United. He's back to Benfica. Was actually been bought, sold, and done. So yeah, that would be an interesting signing. Alvaro Carreras, and then Pedri. Apparently, Alonso understands that Pedri from Barcelona is not a feasible option, but he'd love to bring in the 22-year-old. There's some other comments here. Look, Los Blancos could lose their crown to Barcelona. Yes. Defensa Central has reported that Alonso would like Pedri to be at Real Madrid. The outgoing buyer boss believes that the Spain international's profile would be a great fit for this team. He'd be an ideal asset. Just keep that in mind, right? Ideal asset. Whereas if we look, this is the Real Madrid team at present, by the way, right? So this is the defence. Now, David Alaba, again, all you FC Bayern, you Munich fans out there will recall that Alaba was part previously of the Bayern Munich team that won trophies galore. Now his contract is due to expire this summer, and some people on their Twitter and on social media at large have started to suggest that, what about a return? What about if he comes back to Munich, maybe for one last hurrah, because that would solve a lot of problems that Munich and Vincent Kompany's got at the back. Anyway, this is the defence. I mean, it's quite an aging defence, I suppose, in a way. Carvajal, he's 30, is he 34? Militao's been out injured. We've talked about David Alaba. Here's Lucas Vazquez. Oh, I should put his age in there. Well, he's getting on a bit. That's all I've got to say. What does that make him? 90, 2000. Oh, no, it doesn't. I suppose he's not that old, is he? He's like 20. Is he 24? That's not too bad, then, is it, really? There's Vallejo, Fran Garcia, Tony Rudiger. He's an absolute beast, isn't he? And then Mr. Mendy, Bendy Mendy, Ferland Mendy. So it's not a bad defence, is it really? And then he's your midfield, Bellingham, Cannavaro, Valverde, Modric, who Alonso played alongside, which just is it's a testament to his fitness and the diet that they consume out there in the Mediterranean. And Arda Güler, now arguably, who needs a Florian WIRTZ at Real Madrid? And you've already got this lad. And you've got Arda Güler, the Turkish wonder kid, Anyway, so that's the state of the Real Madrid. And of course, you got Vinny Jr. and Mbappe. Apparently he's a bit unhappy at the present. Rodrigo, Endrick, so there you go. That's the state of Real Madrid, but he still wants to bring in his own players. Pedri's on that list. Let's quickly look at him. So he's only 22. He's got a contract until 2030. La Liga this season he's played 34 times, scored 4, set up 5 assists. I should add, he's also got Champions League experience. He's played 56 times already this season as a 22-year-old, which is very impressive. So who's going to come in and add to this Real Madrid team? I suppose confirmation then, we look back around that, Alonso's contract has been rushed through so that he can take over the post on what will be effectively June the 1st. So no holiday for Mrs. Alonso and the children, but I'm sure she'll be okay. I'm sure her parents and the grandparents will get stuck in. She'll get looked after because it's a great quality of life, isn't it? Great standard of life, great quality of living out there in Spain in the Mediterranean. And I suppose it would only be remiss for us to remember that the guy that's come into Madrid was just one game away from an unbeaten treble at Leverkusen. One game. Yeah, one Europa League final away from an unbeaten treble whilst taking over, during his 2.5 years at Bayer Leverkusen. What are your thoughts then on, just initially on the news, on Xabi Alonso going to Real Madrid? Any Real Madrid fans out there, what do you think about him coming in? What do you think about those transfers? The potential Dean Hewson, Alvaro Carreras and Pedri making the jump across. Only 5 players in recent times have made that jump from the enemy, because they are arch enemies, right? Bernd Schuster, by the way, made the jump from Barca to Real Madrid and then went back to Madrid to manage them in the 90s. Yeah, famous German Bernd Schuster. What do you think then? Gonzo and I feel like it's a smart move. It's a shame because it somewhat dilutes the effectiveness of Leverkusen, which then has an impact on the whole quality of the league, and it sort of tips, it feels like, and especially if Jonathan Tah and if Florian Wirtz were to move on, and there's even transfer rumours swirling of Jeremy Frimpong being transferred to Liverpool to replace Trent Alexander-Arnold, who, I mean, it's not quite been done, has it? But we're assuming it's a done deal that Alexander-Arnold's going to go to Real Madrid and occupy that right-back spot. So, yeah, Frimpong. So, if Tah, Frimpong, Wirtz, and they're managerless at present, it feels like the Bundesliga's product is going to be weak. And I know Manu at the Gegenpressing pod, if you happen to be watching this, I'm sure you've got some harsh words for me. And if anyone's got some harsh words for me, and some nice words, please, you know the drill by now. Let me know in the comment section down below. And feel free, if you can find it in your heart, to like and subscribe and share this video. Share it with your schoolmates, your college mates, your uni mates, your work colleagues, whether you're in a factory, in an office, even an air hostess, wherever you are in the world, even your family. Just pass it on, please. I'd be very grateful. We are growing. We're on the road to 100 subscribers. We're mid-60s at the minute, which is fantastic. I'm doing this full time. I'm doing it for you because I care. I'm passionate. I'm driven. Bit like Xabi Alonso. 1 game away from a domestic treble last year. Anyway, we're going now. Catch you soon. Ciao, ciao, ciao. Ciao, ciao, ciao.